All right, Shalom. Further establishing our praise to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of who will, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. This is wildfires erupt across the Carolinas, forcing some to evacuate. Right, so, Slocky, bear with me. All right, Slocky.
Firefighters worked all night to contain wildfires that erupted across the Carolinas over the weekend. A state of emergency was declared in South Carolina yesterday after officials said they responded to nearly 200 wildfires, but that number is much lower now. Dave Malkoff has more from outside Myrtle Beach, where one of the largest fires is burning.
Flames ripped through Carolina forest near Myrtle Beach on Sunday. Across South Carolina, there is fuel to burn and a dry wind blowing. South Carolina's governor issued a state of emergency to help respond to more than 175 fires. That adds up to more than 4,000 acres, some very close to homes. Residents took this video. There's thick smoke billowing over homes and neighborhoods in Carolina forest. The fire there doubled in size over the weekend.
I've never seen anything like this
is crazy.
Anywhere.
Yeah. We just took a ride, and between the police and the planes and the cars and fire engines, and it's new to us.
Hundreds of first responders worked around the clock to fight the flames from the ground and the air. In some cases, it got way too hot for people to stay in their homes. They packed up and moved to a safer place.
It's been surreal. I mean, they keep popping up, these little things do, and you don't know if they're going to come and get to your house or the next neighbor's house.
Look at that. The morning sun is blotted out by the thick smoke in this neighborhood. It is nearly impossible to drive right now. But Tony, firefighters are patrolling this neighborhood, and thanks to them, there have been no structures lost, and we're about at 30% containment right now.
Wow, dramatic pictures there inside.
All right, so they declared a state of emergency. Let's see what this says right quick. A state of emergency was issued Sunday after officials say they responded to more than 175 wildfires across the Carolinas over the weekend. Right, so people had to evacuate. No injuries reported thus far. This is a state of emergency. It says state of emergency. A state of emergency is a situation in which a government is empowered to put through policies that it would normally not be permitted to do for the safety and protection of its citizens. A government can declare such a state before, during, or after a natural disaster, civil unrest, armed conflict, medical pandemic or epidemic, or other biosecurity risk. And in this case, it's a natural disaster. A natural disaster is the very harmful impact on a society or community after a natural hazard event. Some examples of natural hazard events include avalanches, droughts, earthquakes, floods, heat waves, landslides, including submarine landslides, tropical cyclones, volcanic activity, and wildfires. Right. It says additional natural hazards include blizzards, dust storms, firestorms, hails, ice storms, sinkholes, thunderstorms, tornadoes, and tsunamis. A natural disaster can cause loss of life or damage property. It typically causes economic damage. How bad the damage is depends on how well people are prepared for disasters and how strong the buildings, roads, and other structures are. Scholars have been saying that the term natural disaster is unsuitable and should be abandoned. Instead, the simpler term disaster could be used. It says at the same time, the type of hazard would be specified. A disaster happens when a natural or human-made hazard impacts a vulnerable community. It results from the combination of the hazard and the exposure of a vulnerable society. Right, so that's what you see going on. So up to 200 fires are taking place. We know these are the signs from Yahweh Bashem Shai that he's on his way back. And there is no rest for the world anymore. These things are happening daily, everywhere, on great scales. So this is Isaiah 29. Oh, Slakia. This is Slakia. Isaiah. Nope, my bad. It's in Isaiah. Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1, it says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And how do you measure the time? You watch for the prophecies. This right here is a Bible prophecy. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. And when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time when the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And this is the Lord visiting the world which he made by way of these prophecies, by way of these natural disasters, to where Esau got to declare a state of emergencies because these type of things, 175 fires across the Carolinas, these type of things wasn't happening. Meanwhile, they haven't said anything, or I haven't seen anything thus far. I had to go back and check about the fires that's happening in Los Angeles. So yeah, man. Uh, and that's diligence, knowing that these fires are happening in multiple places and where they're happening at. So you can edify the flock and show them that the Lord is on his way back, and these are the signs. This is the scripture, the prophecy of it right here, just to get a little more detail. Isaiah chapter 29, verse 6, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise. All these are signs. With storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. And that's the flame of devouring fire that you see happen. This is Sirach chapter 39, verse 28. It says, There be spirits that are critical for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, and spirits are the angels. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, right? So the Lord used the spirits, the angels, to create these type of events for vengeance. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is, and when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Right, so they're going to carry out what they're supposed to carry out with no complaints, as we wrap up, or the Lord wrap up the rest of the plagues of the world, because the kingdom of heaven is next. The last and final plague, which is going to be a spirit of fire, is from the nuclear missiles. Uh, the reporter made a statement. See how the fog, the smoke, it's like it blocked out the sun. That's the same thing gonna happen when the nuclear missiles hit America. Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 14. Behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Right? So these plagues are never gonna stop. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Right? The ultimate plague will be the nuclear missile. There ain't nothing they can do to stop it. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Right? You're going to have to be of the elect to be delivered. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils, meaning bad times, and that's the time we're living in. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. For the nation of Israel, they supposed to straighten themselves up when they see these things happening or tribulation come upon them, you know. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. Right, but they're not going to be mindful of these things. 2/3 of our people are not going to take heed to the fact that these are the plagues of the Lord and to straighten up. But 1/3 is going to take heed, you know, and that's going to be unto their salvation. Meanwhile, uh, the heathen, uh, so-called white people, Chinese, Africans, Arabs, Japanese, you know, Hawaiians, etc. They're gonna be burned up by the thermonuclear fire. They don't have no chance of salvation. You know, the Bible isn't written for them. They are the wicked, according to the Bible. They are not the righteous, holy people. So they're gonna die on this side, right along with the 2/3 of the nation of Israel. You know, who don't want to return back to the Lord, man. And you know, with that being said, call Allah Yahweh Shema Rashai. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Ruel, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.